Welcome, Terra Me More. Sagittarius friends. This is Friday, so that's Sagittarius Capricorn Day. We're doing the heart spread, and that's for when you have someone on your mind. All right, now we're going to do the 4-pillar single spread. It's when you don't have anyone on your mind. So this is kind of, interesting energy to be in. What this spread is for is, I think, a little unusual. We're going to try to identify your soulmate first. This is what people want to open up this soulmate. We want to clear a lane at the airport and let them land because they maybe been circling because we've been busy with other things. And now we want to say, hey, you know what? We're single, super single, we're ready. And now, what this tarot reading is asking from Spirit, from Source, through tarot, can you tell us about our soulmate? What are they like? We'll know it when we know. This is where you haven't met this person yet. If you've met the person and they're on your mind, that's the heart spread. Okay, it's going to really pick up hard on who's on your mind. Shuffle again here, guys. Okay, this is looking at their emotional energy, intellectual, sexual, relationship, and lifestyle core values, the 4 pillars of relationship. Excuse me a minute. Coffee. Okay. Looking at their emotional nature, the Tower. Don't freak out. Very different kind of reading. And the Ace of Pentacles. It's not exactly the same as you might think, although in the emotional, didn't have a happy childhood. So look for issues there. I'll come back, not issues, this is your person, remember, but stories they'll tell you. They're not going to tell you, I had this great childhood. They might mention, especially if you ask. But with the Ace of Pentacles, I think of the mustard seed, some core. Maybe over time there's someone that really found themselves. That whole thing with love yourself. The Ace of Pentacles, I'm thinking the inner child, but in the sense of the inner child being completely supported by someone. So someone that is made out of a very difficult and unhelpful foundation in childhood. A very strong self, I went through something like this, and it comes to mind, like, you could even ask them maybe, with this Ace of Pentacles. You could have a sense like you really don't care so much what's true. You care what's interesting to you, and is kind of one way to put it. But with the Ace of Pentacles, it's being able to emotionally really be centered. And I think of the clown with the sand in the bottom, and you punch it, and it just pops back up. And it's like, you could say, psychoanalyze, that's how they responded to the difficulties they faced. They developed skills, Ace of Pentacles, coping mechanisms. And I see it as being positive. It's your person, and so you understand. So they might tell you stories about what maybe something they went through, how it was. They may have done work, very much probably did do work on themselves. In some manner, however they did it, emotionally and then intellectually, judgment. 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, called from the dead. Yeah, the Rider-Waite. Okay. Thinking about it. Sexual, Knight of Pentacles. Take it. It's good. Ooh. 10 of Swords. momentum. Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. I love this reading. Two of Cups. This is in their core values and their lifestyle here. Two we get to go with it. Strength. Okay. We're going to start, well, we're going to continue over here on the other side. In their core values and here in their lifestyle with, they could be a Leo. I mean, this is, I know, and with the Two of Cups, there's someone that loves relationships, and also though loves a family and is protective, I believe, and very with the Strength card here, someone that would be there for others. You know, this cup of love for them, and this loving love and wanting to be in this family and have this relationship, probably like a soulmate thing for them. They're going to really be happy to find you guys. I could feel it. It's not a weak thing. It's not like they're incomplete or, you know, something like that. It's they come from a place of strength here. You know, Neptune, transits come to mind. I mean, yeah, delusions and all this and soulmates and that. Well, you know, sometimes it works. It could be right there in that kind of energy. So, not sure what kind of stories they would tell you, but they likely be very positive about love. This is someone like, I'm glancing over here back at their intellect. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. Okay, Judgment and the Seven of Pentacles. They check themselves before they think. This is how they, Ace of Pentacles. It's like Judgment. It's like they went to therapy and they learned that, you know, what boundaries are. I went through this, and so, but they didn't really have boundaries, and they didn't really understand it. And with this in the intellectual position, it's like they had to, with the Seven of Pentacles, like really learn it. Like, and so it's kind of clunky. It's like they know they need to set boundaries somewhere, because it becomes like a thought, and they think like, oh, I think this here is one of those situations where I should be setting boundaries here. Okay. And so in their mind, they're very careful, I think, as you talk to them. The kind of person, they're not gonna just shoot off the cuff, and they're probably going to be a little reserved. You know, probably going to listen more with Judgment. You get that. It can be Judgment. Usually, like, it's self-judgment. You know, kind of say that all judgment is self-judgment, but because look, I mean, Seven of Pentacles, you're weighing. You know, did I get my money's worth? I did all this work, did this crop, and now I'm getting my crop in, and wow, was it worth 2 months of sweating in the sun? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't mean it wasn't, but it means they have to ask. I had a Libra girlfriend, and with the checklist positive and negative, and it's like, seriously, you got to make a list? If you have to make a list, it's like probably there's a problem. Like, I'm thinking if it's working, you don't have to make a list. But, you know, because of their child, remember, this is your person, nobody's perfect. And they've been working on this, you know, by you being aware of it, you can even help them, by, you know, and they probably understand triggers and all of it, you know. With the Seven of Pentacles here in this, they may be an expert on narcissism and everything. In terms of this and Judgment. So they may talk about that. They may be able to talk intelligently. I think you're going to have to just draw them out. You know, I think you will, because you're their soulmate. But I'm kind of thinking how they're going to feel when you first meet them. And maybe you're only with them a few hours. And maybe you can start telling each other your stories. You know. But so since they're careful what they say, you know, the Judgment card, they're truthful, and they're not only truthful. It's like they tend to just they don't really say anything unless they're really sure of it. So not only truthful, usually just they're right. Like that could be frustrating, like a kind of a joke, like, oh, so you're always right? And they would be like, well, yeah, kind of, I'm always right. And maybe not even in a way like, fuck you, I'm always right. It's just like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, I think about it very carefully, and I look at everything, and, with a childhood like this, you probably had to spend a lot of time getting to know people and trying to recognize human behavioral patterns, let's put it like that. They can almost like programs the brain, right? And so they can like calculate tick, 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 what is likely outcomes in given situations. And you might kind of could tap into that when you're getting to know them, talking to them at the beginning, guys. And then sexually with the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. I'm also thinking of Venus energy. And with the Knight, a Knight is always Mars in my mind. So Mars is action, where we take action. The will. And so the Knight of Pentacles is a very strong will. But in this position, we look at it a little bit differently. And I'm trying to think with the Ten of Swords. I have a pretty clear idea sexually. They're going to be dominant. And remember, this is your person, so this is going to be like toxic or anything. But there's going to be a very like seriousness to it, like not so much like the Pluto seriousness, like the tie me up stuff and everything, but like a Saturn seriousness with this Knight of Pentacles to the Ten of Swords. I could say like sex would be heavy with them. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but it's like would be like an experience, and they would take it very seriously, is what I'm saying. Yeah. And my first impression was here with this Ten of Swords, they are highly orgasmic. If it's a man, they're young, I guess, because they can probably have many. Woman, sky's the limit. But it may imply that kind of energy. And when making love, I have such a clear sense of that. I'm trying to think of their romantic style, which I believe would be Capricorn, even Venus, yeah. With this Capricorn, Venus, maybe Capricorn, Venus, and a Capricorn Mars, not impossible. Could be an Aquarius Mars, Capricorn Venus. It's very possible. Try to look for that there. But they're going to be very consistent, okay? Romantically and sexually very consistent. They're not going to vary, they're going to be very reliable. Is also the sense I get. So, let me know, guys, what you think. If you like what we do, it helps. Good karma. It's easy, and appreciate it. And that's for the third week of August 2021. Thank you.